Welcome back to the big show. Time now is 8:17. The cost of prescription drugs in the United States may be coming down and getting closer to the prices in other countries. President Donald Trump signed an executive order back in May to lower prices. The president joined Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and other health leaders to deliver remarks on lowering drug prices. The president called the current system, quote, unfair, and says he wants Americans to, quote, stop being ripped off. The administration has struck a deal with several drug makers to give discounts on the prescription drugs. Kennedy says that the FDA has a plan to open the prescription drug market to competition in order to get Americans to get lower prices to Americans and faster access to life-saving medicines. So with that as our backdrop, the Affordable Care Act open enrollment for 2026 starts Saturday. The deadline for coverage is December 15th. Here to tell us more about all that is the president-elect of the California Agents and Health Insurance Professionals. That would be our good friend, Mr. Craig Gussin. Craig, welcome back to the big show.
Good morning.
Hey, just before we get started on this,
okay.
You know, we're seeing the subsidies for healthcare sunset come the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Why were those subsidies designed to expire? I mean, walk me through that. Because you know, everyone's used to having so much of their health care paid for. Now, why are they going to, the people who wrote the bill, why did they decide it to stop at the end of the year?
So when the ACA started, AKA the Obamacare, in 2014, there was a subsidy. When President Biden was in office and COVID was here, they decided to increase the subsidy to help the people because a lot of people were not working or making less money. And they designed a bill where it would end in December 31st of 2025, and here we are.
So when you get people hooked on having their health care paid for, and then suddenly that's taken away, hence the problem we have right now.
Hence the problem. So it's like, and now it's just, I mean, the shutdown is crazy right now because so many people are getting hurt, and like you just said, it's hard to, I would say it's hard to give somebody a raise and then come back a couple of years later and say, oh, we got to take it away. So what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to sit down and come out with a situation to take care of it all. The bigger problem is with the whole shutdown that they're saying, well, if you're not here legally, we're not going to cover it. But the hospitals have to cover anybody that walks into the emergency room. They can't say—
by law.
But yeah, they can't say, well, do you have health insurance? If not, we're not going to see you. So if they change that, the hospitals can't walk away. They're going to take care of somebody. They're going to get a bill for $10,000, $100,000. Today, they send it to Washington, D.C., and it gets paid. But what's going to happen next year? The hospital's going to have to eat it, which means they're going to raise rates to the insurance companies. The insurance company is going to raise rates to every consumer in America. Every business in America is going to raise their rates. It's a snowball effect that's terrible.
But just get back into my original question. Even if the shutdown were to end right now, we're still dealing with sunsetting subsidies, are we not, at the end of the year?
December 31st, yes.
So, I mean, take a person who's just turned 65. What are they to do?
If you're on Medicare, this is not an issue at all, what we're going to be talking about today. If you have health insurance through your employer, this is not an issue we're going to talk about today. The only way that would affect you would be if they decide we're not going to extend the subsidy and the hospitals end up having to spend a lot more money. They, in turn, charge the insurance companies more money, then everybody's going to see the rates going up. So we don't know what's going to happen.
But all these stories that we're seeing and we're reporting about, people are looking at their monthly health care costs doubling. We're going from $400 to $650, whatever. What do you say to those people?
What I've been telling everybody like that when I get the phone call is, let's wait and see what's going to happen with the shutdown. I'm telling everybody, let's wait till like November 14th, 2 weeks in November. The elections are over. I think that's going to possibly get people to come back to the table quicker. And we have until December 31st for you to make a change to your plan to have it go into effect January 1st. So I'm telling people, let's wait till like the second week of November. Let's see what's going on. Let's get a better idea what your rates are going to actually be. And because I see the same thing, you know, depending on your age and how much money you make, Somebody who's 60 years old making 30, 40,000 a year, they're probably getting $1,000 a month in subsidies, if not more, and they could lose a big portion of that. Somebody who's 25 or 30 making 30, 40,000 a year, their premiums aren't that high, so the subsidy isn't going to be that high. So it's a wait and see.
But when this is all getting pushed through, and my last question to you is the Affordable Care Act, which is turning out not to be living up to its name, it doesn't seem. But the whole point of it was that if we got people all on insurance, it was going to drive the cost of insurance down. Why hasn't that been the case?
It's very simple. Health insurance is expensive because health care is expensive. So I watch you guys all the time. The nurses go on strike, they want more money. The hospitals do that, and then they increase the cost of the insurance companies or increase the cost to consumers. Sacramento, Washington, D.C., they pass bills saying you have to cover this, you got to cover that. Now, if you're a business with more than 100 employees, you got to cover, what do you call it? When you're trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
In vitro.
In vitro.
In vitro.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And groups under 100 can also add that, but that's going to increase the cost. So every time the government decides they want to add something else
to the benefit plan,
to make it better, it increases rates. So what we're seeing right now is this snowball effect, and what I'm telling everybody is we have a lot of time. This is, I have some clients freaking out and go, look, nothing's going to happen. And even if you pick a terrible plan in December and in January decide you want to change it, we can change it in January. Last day of January is the last day in this, in 2026 that I can change your plan.
All right, so we have to leave it there. So keep your powder dry and to be continued, I think.
To be continued. You're probably going to see me again soon talking about...
Fair enough. I look forward to that.
Whatever happens.
Craig Gussin, everybody. Congratulations on the new post, too, by the way.
Thank you.
All right.